Everybody thinks that home buyers in general want nice finishes like granite countertops and configuration like open great room floor plans. Those things haven't gone away and those are desirable, nothing wrong with that, but there's a shift in what buyers' priorities are and something else that's bumping up against that. It hasn't happened in a long time, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Typically and historically, the buyer and seller favored markets have a correlation and they offset each other. When one's high, the other's low, and they balance each other. But for the first time in the last few years, in actually 140 years of our real estate economy and mortgage market, we have seen both of those take a little bit of a dip because we'd never seen 1.8, 2%, 2.5% mortgage rates like we did a few years ago. And so that's thrown off the standard proportions there a little bit. So both of the volume, the velocity, both of those markets are a little lower right now rather than just straight up offsetting each other. Median home price appreciation is back to the normal of 2 to 3% per year or so as far as gaining equity in a property versus 7, 8, 9, 25% in some markets was actually, that was nice if you own a house, but it's not sustainable long term, and that hockey stick curve can't go forever. So hence the correction in the market over the last few years. The velocity of the market has slowed and homes are now taking 2 to 5 months to sell on the market instead of 2 to 5 hours, which is not a normal market. A normal market is taking a number of months to sell a property in general. And a super crazy market like we saw a few years ago, houses would sell with 15 offers in 3 hours. Well, that wasn't normal, but people have their perspective and expectations set as though that was a normal market. That was an anomaly. Sellers are getting more motivated. They're trying to incentivize the market, and some of them are lowering prices to incentivize buyers to come forward with offers. But here's where the shift is that's a bit unexpected, and we haven't seen this in a long time. The old playbook was the biggest house, the most square footage, and the nicest finishes. But the new trend we're seeing is that buyers are operating more like an investor. They're scrutinizing operating costs and sustainability rather than just purchase price. So cash flow is becoming more and more important to buyers, and sustainability on a monthly basis as far as affording to be in a house, not just looking at the purchase price or just the mortgage payment. Lots of monthly indefinite costs have increased with houses, such as insurance is multiple times in many markets what it used to be, and things like electrical bills have gone up 20, 25, 28% in many markets across the United States. So there's 3 particular challenges I'll lay out real quick that are affecting sellers that are seeing buyers coming forward and their shift of priorities as they're trying to attract buyers to make offers. Shift number 1 is that energy performance is now a huge checklist item for buyers. Zillow's Zestimate isn't an always accurate value as far as property, so I'm not a huge fan of that, but they're a legit company, reference real estate trends and concepts and things happening in the industry. And interestingly enough, their 2026 home trends report on things like zero energy ready listings have gone up 70% as far as the interest. Whole home battery power and electric vehicle plug-ins inquiries reference that have gone up 40%. Energy and sustainability language inquiries have gone up 20%. So buyers, especially in states like Colorado, which gets lots of sunshine, there's lots more interest in sustainability and even solar power, which we haven't seen so much in past years. The second component or challenge is water efficiency in semi-arid climates like Colorado as well. Approximately 38% of municipal water use goes toward just landscaping on the outside of the house. A standard Kentucky bluegrass lawn in places like Colorado, which are pretty dry and don't have a ton of water, need about 20 gallons per square foot. They're in the hot months. That's during, April into October and throughout the summer. That's a lot of water. Xeriscaping and smart irrigation are shifting from, hey, that's something would be nice, to, hey, this is vital actually for sustainable and cash flow reference this house being affordable for me. The third shift that we're seeing is lifestyle location over just features and square footage of a property. Younger and more flexible hybrid and remote workers are demanding things like location and walkability for a house, not just fancy features and big square footage. So the bottom line in the shift is that buyers are looking for sustainability, kind of analyzing the numbers like an investor would to make sure a house is affordable for them long term. So they're looking for energy efficient vinyl windows, systems, HVAC, water, and monthly utilities to be much more sustainable. So they're looking for homes that are cheap to own, not just cheap to purchase. So operating and energy costs are becoming a standard inquiry, much like square footage. You're seeing those numbers, and buyers are constantly asking about, well, what does it cost to own and sustain this place? And the reason I talk about trends like this is because it serves both buyers and sellers well to pay attention to trends and be aware of these things. Whether you're trying to sell a house or whether you're buying a house, these are really important things to pay attention to. It's a challenging market for sellers right now, and we need every edge we can in order to get a house sold. And if sellers aren't aware of these things, or if the numbers and stats don't look very good, it's going to take your house longer to sell because these are buyers' priorities. And of course, we can negotiate purchase price all day long for a buyer, but when they're looking at sustainability and affordability, cash flow wise every month, we need to pay attention to those numbers, which may edge out a property that might be a fabulous purchase price, but not sustainable as far as monthly energy costs. I've got a solar listing right now for a home that has solar installed in the last few years. Man, their electricity bill used to be $500 a month, but the solar took that down to $120 a month. That's a huge net difference. So the bottom line is that properties that are actually moving and selling, buying and selling on the market right now are not just the prettiest listing pictures. That's being balanced and tempered with the lowest cost of living as well. Buyers aren't just buying a pretty house with fancy pictures, they're looking for lower cost of living. If you're hearing or experiencing other real estate trends, I would love to hear from you down in the comments. Reference what you're hearing and seeing. If this video on my energy resonates with you, I would love to engage with you. I'm super relational, I'm down to earth, and they're as real as it gets, very authentic. I'd love to connect with you. My contact information is below. Please reach out to me and I'll be excited to hear from you.